So, what is up, guys? Apparently, my audio kind of did not record properly, so I'm going to be just sitting here with you guys going through this match with you, what went down. So, in this match, we are playing against Narukami. So, this is my first Great Nature deck. This is the ChatNoir build. So, when it comes to ChatNoir, there is a lot of setbacks when it comes to playing this match. So, as you can tell from my hand here, we have Camel and we have ChatNoir. We have two Polarises, and we have a Compass Lion. So we're going to see how this goes with our opponent. So draw trigger goes off, that's fine. So we drew a ChatNoir. Again, we're losing stand triggers. That's never a good sign for us to be playing this type of game like this. This isn't good. This doesn't help us at the end of the day. We need to get certain plays. So we're going to see how this plays out. We attack with Camel, hit a Zebra, not good enough. So, pass turn, Vowing Sword gets off, is what it is. So we move on to our next opponent's turn. So we try to read what our opponent can possibly have at the end of the day. Obviously, my hand is terrible. I drew two heels back, which is terrible. I drew those back again after I just returned those, believe it or not. And this hand obviously needs some work. But when it comes to playing like Great Nature in general, there is a lot of things to it. Ergo, what goes on with Great Nature is the fact that they need their units, but they also you need your boosters too. So when for boosters, obviously I go with the Duck Coils, the Taping Cat, and the Hamiskews. I actually take out the AK Hamiskew package for a lot of reasons. Number one is we're not always guaranteed boosters. We actually have to either draw the bill, the Hamiskew, so we can get the rest of our boosters for the game, or we use Duck Coil to try to draw some more cards. So we're going to target our ChatNoir in this gameplay. We're going to sack it with our Compass Line and draw one card. So we're going to attack the Ness Hat. I'm already thinking of set 15 Dauntless. So that was a good hit. So ChatNoir smacks. This will be at 1400. So the first check, we hit a draw trigger into a PG. Okay, so we're having a decent game here. We have two PGs in the hand. It's not bad. Could be better. But we'll see how this match plays out. So he's playing crits. So there's that too. One sec. All right, so back to the match. Apparently he didn't have a G3 to ride unless he was waiting on a G3. Maybe he wanted to ride something different, or he wanted to wait a turn for this match. So again, we're going to see how this plays out. He attacks with his Eradicator Sparkhorn Dragon. Next, this man's going to be attacking with... Let's see who he attacks with next. Obviously, if he attacks with a Ness Hat, counter charges, but I guess he still needs the I guess he doesn't need the counter charge. I had a heal check. That's nice. I have 3 PGs, so the hand is looking pretty solid here. But even with a hand like this, I still need my reverse Leo to make anything worthwhile. So he healed, which means if he did attack with Ness Hat, he was going to heal anyways and draw a card that isn't his heal check. So we would have to wait and see what that card is later on. So my turn comes around. We're going to break right Polaris here. And we're going to try to draw a couple more cards because our hand's not looking too good. Sometimes riding Polaris as the break ride is the last minute option for most of your games. You don't want to do that most of the time. You don't. But when it comes to like playing like Great Nature in general, there's like certain plays you have to do in order to beat out most of your opponent's attack players. So with this being said, we're going to be attacking with Polaris. So this is going to be good. So Polaris attacks, we're going to restand Compass Lion. We're going to give him, obviously, all the attack for this so we can draw more cards. So this will be a 2-card draw. And then we'll hopefully draw 3 cards if we hit a stand. Perfect. We hit a stand trigger. And our boy's at 1400, which means that we can power creep this guy to 25 if this actually hits. But it looks like he had a heal sack coming, so bad luck for us. This is why I hate stands sometimes, due to the fact... If we don't have boosters, we're kind of tier, so that's not good. But yeah, we gave Compass Line an extra 8,000 juice. It was the only way to actually just even get an extra swing. If I gave the juice to the binocular tiger, I would have been kind of like screwed over in the end because they both would have been retired. But I was going to draw the same 3 cards anyways because it's 3 units that are getting the attack in, so on and so forth. So we draw 3. We finally have a booster. And then we lose a stand trigger and a draw trigger. The many benefits, this was possibly the worst. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's like, this break ride is nice. It's nice in the fact that we get to draw cards. That's number 1. The other issue with Drain Nature's break ride in general is our units die, so there's a reason why we break ride reverse Leo, or even Leo, especially in a stand deck. So if the unit is about to die, they come back anyways, especially your intercept game. Those are the most important things you want to look out for in a match. My issue right now is... the only issue here is this match isn't look too good for me. I'm at 4 damage. I have 3 PGs, but I don't think that's going to be enough. He played a 6k booster in the back. It's not his PG, it's just some random unit. So he attacks. I lose that. Eradicator Sparkhorn attacks. PG. That sucked. Sweep Command attacks again. He's playing crits, so... Again, that's pretty strong. So again, I'm down to my last card, but luckily he's at 4th damage, so I can ride reverse Leo and try to power creep some units at this point, since I do have the CB. But in my head, when I shot this, I guess I didn't want to do it, so that's what sucked. But I think I was just going for more of a different approach when it came to Polaris. I mean, I could have rode reverse Leo, got the same result with the attack phasing, but yeah, that's about it. Everything else was just kind of up in the air. I was out of stand triggers no matter what I did here, so I just had to restand ChatNoir, try to draw an extra card, try to heal, and if I could heal, that'd be great. So this was definitely a no-go for me on this Eradicator match. Dude hit another trigger. Obviously, the triggers were just all there. There was nothing more I could have done in this match besides just take it. It's a loss. I mean, there's nothing more I can really do in that situation. Getting your boosters like late definitely hurts you. I mean, if you can get them as soon as possible, so you're kind of like prepped for the game, definitely helps you in the long run. This person was actually thinking about his G3 change, and I think he does change to reverse vowing to clean up the back row in case I did heal. But reverse vowing wouldn't have really mattered because he didn't even have vowing in the soul, so I didn't really have to worry about a cross-ride base without the boosters. So that was kind of like less things to worry about. But he went for like this lock thing, and apparently he did have like 1 more PG in his hand, I believe, because he's going to lock those 2 back rows, and that's about it for my units on the field. And that's what kind of hurt in the end because it's reverse vowing. There's nothing more I can really like do about it. But yeah, that's the big struggle. The big struggle with Great Nature is pieces. Pieces. It's not simple. It's not easy. So that's what kind of blowed in this situation. So I wasn't really like happy about it. I do apologize. I actually have to like commentate this video because the voice did not go through properly. I just hit give up just to kind of speed it up. I was like tired of it. I'm like, I lost GG's, and I hit a draw trigger. There was no heal. So yeah, I'm just going to record because these were like some decent matches to kind of discuss what this build's like all about in the end. So what you see obviously is there is one difference that you're seeing from the deck profile in the picture to your side here. I guess I got to point my finger over here. What you're seeing in that deck profile over there. I added 1 more zebra just in case because zebra is the another card that actually kind of helps you get pieces. And by kind of helps you get pieces, I mean it actually tries to get you a piece, like a booster or another G2 that you don't have to waste. You know, stuff like that. So we're going to return Polaris this time. I'm going to keep the I actually keep the Hamaskew this time. I wanted to keep 1 G2 and put the Polaris and the G2 back in the deck. I want to keep Hamaskew because if I kill my Hamaskew, that gives me 2 other boosters. Good, I drew great. I got my Duck Coil and I got my Hamaskew that I can sack this game. So with Duck Coil, and the reason why I'm running the Parrot as my forerunner, Duck Coil and Parrot go hand in hand. If I have to ride Duck Coil, it doesn't mean I lost a Duck Coil at the end of the day because Parrot acts as one of my Duck Coil bills. So I like to use that in my defense when I try to do certain combos, certain plays. I don't lose a card. I just think of it like, okay, I'm not really losing. I'm still at 0 with being able to get my card's effects off by adding a card to my hand. Losing early stands. It just stands triggers just want to be this way for no reason. Top deck my heal. My God. I hate myself just seeing myself just getting these terrible hands. This is what you guys see? This is like terrible. So we're going to pair our Hamaskew in the back, and we're going to be riding, obviously we're putting Binocular Tiger. We're prepping Binocular Tiger for a lot of reasons, aka becomes a 19k column when you boost with the Tiger. So it's a nice power column right there, 10k boost, and you're going to get 2 more boosters after this, plus 1 extra draw. So a little plussing when it comes to Great Nature. I always look at Great Nature. It's weird because people like to do the Hamaskew package. I mean, honestly, Hamaskew package is nice, but I ran in too many situations where it cucked me because of booster support. And if you don't get the boosters, then you have 8k units that can't do anything and attack with nothing. So I always came to that situation where I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try a different approach with the Hamaskews. Maybe just do G1s because I feel like boosters are more important than the G2s because I'll possibly just get G2s, down the road. So this man writes Tartu. Classic Revenger play, usually. And sometimes, believe it or not, I actually played a little Revengers on my grind to Legend 135. So, I mean, Tartu is usually good. I mean, once you set up that back row, you're kind of prepped for a lot of the attack phases, especially on defense triggers. If you only get 2 attacks on the Vanguards. Pretty much doing the Tartu play, putting the Revenger in the back, kind of gives you the guaranteed 2 attacks every turn if there's only 1 intercept. Because hitting 2100 is hitting 2100. So my turn comes around, we get another Duck Coil. I believe I screwed up on this part, sadly, because I was being too greedy. I'm going to tell you why I got greedy. I got greedy because, I was trying to do a reverse Leo play where I restand my guy, he becomes a 22k column, so on and so forth, and I try to draw a card. Now, I hate that you guys have to see me misplay, but it's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes. And now that I got all my boosters and my Duck Coil, I was supposed to draw more cards in this situation. So I did something terrible. I really should have just attacked with Polaris first and then attacked with reverse Leo. But I think I was trying not to heal in this situation because if I healed, then the combo would have died. So when it came down to this, I was hoping for a trigger. Lo and behold, I did not get said trigger. So I didn't get a draw cards. I didn't get anything out of this play where I was going to actually plus on Polaris. 2 cards off Polaris. So let's see what we would have drawn off Polaris in general. Let's hit the next 2 cards. Once he deals the 2 damage, let's see how the scenario would have played out if Polaris actually died and I suffered my sins. So Blaster Dark Revenger gets played, countercharge, snipe. There's the nice Blaster Blader. Blaster Dark Revenger sword. So he plays a G3, that's fine. Reverse Leo thrives off just 1 intercept, so you can get power columns. So I was going to draw my draw trigger, and then I was going to draw a Compass Lion. So those were the 2 cards I was going to draw off that play. So that was a kind of sad moment. I would have just drawn those 2 cards, and that would have really helped me. So I would have drawn that, and then the first damage check would have been that PG. So I wouldn't have even drawn the PG. The PG would have went to the damage zone. And then the next card I drawn would have went to the damage zone. So I would have lost 2 PGs in total. So the only positive about not getting that restand apparently was I didn't lose my PGs. I actually drew one of them because they were stacked. So something nice about that, which was good. So now we're going for reverse Leo play. We are going to lock and power creep one of our units to actually smacking Compass Line and a little Hamaskew. Give them little, power moments. This is where the extra attacking comes in. So we're going to reverse Leo again. I believe we do it again because we're going to power up Duck Coil in this situation. So we lock another Hamaskew, power up Leo, we power up Duck Coil again. So now we have a 21k column, so now we have a magic number column, and Leo's at 1900. If I want to restand Leo, I can, and he'll be 23, and that could give us a possible guarantee 2 attacks. Lo and behold, I hit a stand trigger at an awkward but satisfying time. I wish he had more intercepts because then that stand trigger would have been very sexy to pull off. But we'll work with what we have here. So then we attack with our Compass Lion. Compass Lion swings. And does he hit a trigger? No, he does not. So our units attack. And lo and behold, he had a PG. Still a very decent, strong turn. With the power of Reverse Leo's restand, it makes him very playable in Zero's format. The only issue Reverse Leo only has is that it's a hit effect. But again, you can micromanage that hit effect to your own desire. This hit effect is mostly supposed to be for big brain plays. By big brain plays, I mean you're supposed to do this hit effect when they're at 4th damage, and then you're supposed to hop off Leo and go straight into Mr. Polaris, because Polaris actually gets you the games. And that's what you have to really focus on at the end result. Even if you draw Polaris and he's your heal check, you're going to need it. It's the final turn 5th damage. You got to get through those PGs in order to make magic happen. So this man goes Raging Form. I mean, there was no doubt about it. I mean, it's Raging Form. I mean, Revengers, just plain and clean, we go Raging Forms. Back in the day, it's usually PPO. But now with Revengers out, it's Raging Form Dragon. Well, they kind of have like a good amount of options. I mean, Dire Mood is like actually pretty good to like screw around with in this game too, with the crit. Knock out early PGs if it's Battle Sisters, so on and so forth, up around those lines of doing things. So right now he's about to attack, so let's get this started, and let's see what his G3 got him. And he got a Raging Form Dragon, son of a witch. So with that being said, we kind of got into the situation with Reverse Leo. So he attacks Raging Form first because he wants to see if he can set up a power column with his blaster. So he does. He has a 26k column, so you already know what this means. I need a heal sack to win. And I believe I only had 2 heals in the deck anyways, but we'll see how this plays out. Pretty sure I lose this one due to the fact I don't have a lot going on for me in this matchup. There wasn't a lot to really use in said matchup, and it really shows. When it comes to Great Nature, sometimes you're going to need Draw Turbo in a sense to kind of get your pieces. And then once he healed, it's like nothing more I can do. A heal sack, no less. It was on the way. A heal sack. So that match just straight to Revengers. I mean, nothing more I can really do with a deck like this. I mean, with ChatNoir is like, he's a very nice breaker. There's just like too many like interference factors that come with it. The fact to me, like decks that kind of rely on the trigger like hurts, because I try to focus. I like decks that don't really need that trigger reliancy when it comes to getting your power creeps or your power column moments, something like that. But if you do hit a power column moment, you're gonna have like another extra attack. Something around those lines of playing a deck, you know. That's why I kind of liked Mortal Kaiser when I heard about it in Japan. He didn't need triggers. He just restood, and all the units became big-ass power-creeping units. So a deck that doesn't rely on a trigger to win a match is always nice. That deck only relied on just hitting a samurai or a trigger. So again, that was more of the profit of that deck kind of could function on its own with its power columns. So we're fighting some Gold Paladins in this next match. So let's see how this plays out. I got 1 PG, which is good. And as we all know, Aichi likes to sack. So if he sacks in this video, I wouldn't be surprised. It's possibly going to happen regardless of the situation. But as you can tell, with this deck in mind, like describing this to you, I can actually end the video possibly at the last match since I'm actually commentating and the deck's to the side. Like I said, there are going to be 2 zebras at the end of this video. If you were seeing, I mean, if he has to get to the, if my past self have to get to the little picture so you can see it a little bit better, it's the same thing. Nothing really changed besides the 1 extra zebra. Well, let's see what zebra does here. Zebra calls a PG, but we're going to look at it as it was going to get drive checked. You might as well just call it as a booster at best because you're possibly not going to see it again, and just swing with what you have. That's how I saw this situation. I was just going to take it. A booster's a booster at the end of the day. All right, so he put his Wingull to the other side. He didn't put it behind Vanguard. I think because he has a fouling prepped that he did this play. I think he did. Because I have a 7k Vanguard, and I guess once he saw that, he's like, oh, so smart. I'll just attack that with that, and Fallon would just swing with a booster. So he was kind of thinking smart. I mean, if he can give it to his other unit, if you have a 12k, obviously Fallon can profit off these type of 5k. So I healed. Okay, cool. So that's the first time I've actually healed with Great Nature without, you know, drawing and dying and going through hell. So let's see how that goes. So now we ride our ChatNoir, and obviously I have another. Oh god. Sorry about that. Whoa there. Sorry. All right, back to the video. Oh man, that was weird. Okay. Sorry about the music on that one. And that won't happen again, trust me. All right, so we're attacking with that. We kind of gave our duck coil. We target our ChatNoir for this play. We're looking for a restand. There is no restand, so we'll let it slide. Now I need a break ride target because now I don't have one. Break ride and ChatNoir doesn't help us in this situation. ChatNoir on ChatNoir is possibly maybe one of the most stupidest plays you could do in a Great Nature match. Yes, you'll be able to draw cards, but again, you need a restand to draw a card. In that match, you'll possibly be drawing like one card because your unit attacked once anyways, but the whole point is to get the restand and profit more of your draws. So he writes some Gancelot, Liberator. It's awesome. Okay, then. I saved my Compass Line. So it's an 11. I like Compass Line for a lot of reasons. It's 11k base. I mean, nothing more you can do about it besides use a, you know, actual. Yeah, use BBL, or you actually have to play another Fallon or 11k unit. So he attacks with Gancelot. There is no crit. I take a hit, and the trigger is not there. So we leave it alone. We actually run one Panda. It's a 10k base. You can change it to a V2 Bridle if you want. It's just nice having a 10k because if it restands and there's a 6k column with the hammock skew, at least it's 21. You just want to kind of focus on your restand combos a lot when it comes to these types of situations. So in this situation, we have Binocular Tiger, Compass Line, and I'm thinking about we want to hit Gancelot twice. And the best way to hit Gancelot twice is going to be with Binocular Tiger. So we attack once, and our trigger is a draw. So we give that draw trigger to Compass Line. Obviously, I did something stupid here, and I kind of regret it. I didn't mean to boost with Binocular Tiger since I already hit the magic number. I killed it on accident. In my defense, I accidentally killed that PG. I apologize for that. I wasn't supposed to do that. That was a complete accident. I regret that ever since. I was like, whoops. It's like I wasn't thinking there, but yeah, and believe it or not, I wasn't thinking about my effect timing. I didn't time my effects properly. Again, I had a little brain fart in this match. I totally forgot to do Compass Line first so he can retire the PG that was going to die anyways. And now I lost more of my units. So make sure you pay attention on who goes first. You really have to be quick with Great Nature. It is you have to be a fast-paced. It's a fast-paced deck. It's a lot of time, but if you know what you're doing, you can speed through it. But you got to make sure you time your effects properly. So he break ride Gancelot on Gancelot. So obviously he's looking for another break ride target with BB. So BB retires. There we go. He has one booster, which is good for him. I think he's playing another intercept. Yes, he is. All right, so he's playing the Liberator that draws a card. Is he going to draw a card? No, he's not. So he didn't want to draw a card. So that's interesting. So let's see how he goes about this turn. Draw checks 1. Draw check 2, nothing. So he didn't hit a trigger, so he wouldn't have even drawn a PG either way. So even if he did drew the draw card, it wasn't going to help him. I think he was saving his CB for a BBL play. So now let's get to our break right here. We have rode Reverse Leo. We are on the perfect break ride. So with this being said, we're going to place our other Reverse Leos. This is so weird. I drew all my Reverse Leos, and Reverse Leo is legit our final turn here. We're going to use Duck Coil. And we're going to power creep these guys to 1500. And when they restand, they'll go up to 19k. Just enough to hit the Vanguard. So there's another like positive thing I like about Great Nature. They can hit like a good number to kind of hit the Vanguard with when they go to 16 or cross ride numbers. Great Nature can actually bypass a good amount of that cross riding stuff with all the juice they get. So that's nice. So first check, second check, no stand trigger, sad face. But the attack went through, so you know what that means. Since the attack went through, if he heals, which he didn't, I would have just restood the 19k Leo, and he would have been at 2300. Another thing I like about ChatNoir is power creeping your units, so that Reverse Leo would go even higher. It'd be 2700 actually, which is really strong. So we got one more match here with this deck, and a little later on today, you'll be seeing Turbo Leo. Turbo Reverse Leo is legit Reverse Leo self-damagers, and pushing hard. And let's just say that video you guys are really going to love. I'm telling you. Because right now, this one started to pick up later with the last 2 matches against Goldies, which was nice. So look at our hand. We got a camel, we got a compass lion, but I have 1 ham skew. So in this match, I actually returned my compass and camel for a lot of reasons. I wanted to search for a different G1, so when I sack my ham skew, I'll be able to have my boosters. Lo and behold, that was a mistake. Shocker, I draw 2 G3s. Especially my heel. Can't catch a break. Can't catch a break with that. But it's okay. We let it happen, we let it happen. It happens to the best of us. It's not easy. Very sad. Very, very sad. So we got ham skew prepped. We have another ham skew, but that just means there's 2 more ham skews to go fetch. So this is still positive with the ham skew plays that we got going on. So with that being said, we have a pretty decent hand to fight against Aichi's Liberators. Splaspledo, Liberata. So looking at my hand, I don't have a PG, so this hand's not quite there yet. So we're going to have to play it out accordingly. So we lose our 1 taping fox we run in this deck. We only run 1 of those because, again, Duck Coil is best draw. All right, so we draw our heel. Yeah. So we ride Binocular, and with Binocular being prepped, we have the ham skew play where we're going to draw a card with Parrot. Parrot lets us draw, hopefully, into a booster. I pray it's a booster, and we'll be safe after that. And that's the best thing about Great Nature. It's the power columns they can set up, especially with their G2 lineup with the ham skews. It's mostly able to hit those 19Ks, those like 21Ks too. So it's like very good positive vibes when it comes to playing Great Nature in general. So again, I made a mistake. Look what I did. I made the same mistake twice in the same video. I didn't retire correctly. But I got my 2 ham skews. So again, once I have my 2 boosters, I'm kind of set. Perfect. So I got a lamp camel. So I got 2 boosters and an intercept. Good draws. Good stuff. That's what, again, positives with the Great Nature. Getting your boosters, getting your draws, so on and so forth. So he had BBL anyways. He was going to retire my unit, but then again, I would have made him waste the CB, which would have been a positive. So he's going to use his Eskrad's effects. So what is he calling? I think he called a Barkle, actually. This part confused me. He didn't Barkle, and if he did, he would have been able to get Joseph off. He had a 19 column, but he didn't hit a trigger, so I would have been safe here from the... If he did the blaster, he would have been able to call you, use Joseph, draw a card, deck gets shuffled, and possibly hits him a trigger on that drive check. So in this match, we are actually going cross rides. I actually ride Leo in this because Leo can play a good role. Now, when it came to this part, I had to debate my CB on this play because I had to say, if I attack with Camel, do I want to draw a card? And I said, yes, why not? Let's draw 1 card. I have no use for reverse Leo yet, and I only need 1 CB for Polaris, which is fine. So lo and behold, I draw the PG. So I'm like, all right, good, we're safe. He can push me all he wants, and I think he was playing criticals too. So we got into a safe position here with our unit in general. Now, if I happened to restood here, if I got a restand, I would have boosted my ham skew and swung with 2400, which is what makes stand triggers nice in Great Nature. But again, looking at my hand, obviously I need draw triggers or filter support to kind of fix that. All right, so he breaks ride Belio on top of Gancelot. So again, he's looking for units on his next break ride turn. So if he lives, he'll be able to do it. So he grabs himself a BB. BB retires, does his thing. He's going to kill my intercept, which is A-okay. A-okay, that is fine. You do what you have to do, Aichi. So Aichi's doing his thing. He's calling a couple more 9Ks. So there's that. So Belio is his heel in this matchup. So he's going to attack with Barkle so he can get some draws. He can get like a unit in the back. So Barkle goes off. 3 cards are revealed to him. I don't know what they are. And he will be calling a Fallon. So a Fallon is in the back row. Alrighty. So let's see. Does he hit a trigger here? Does Aichi... Wow, Aichi not sacking my video is actually interesting because I was not expecting that. So we're in a good place here. We have a lot of combo press, and now we have a Zebra. And we're going to tell you the special thing about Zebra and Reverse Leo. With the power of Zebra and Reverse Leo, you give yourself an extra option of doing certain combos. Zebra likes to call certain units, and by certain units, I mean it can possibly call you a G2 when it's time. So we're going to be eating that Polaris, obviously. We're going to give Polaris a little juice factor here. He has 2 intercepts, which is fine. We're going to guarantee ourselves that extra attack, period. Since I do have another Polaris, I'm okay with throwing one away for endgame. So we're going to lock again. Like I said, if Polaris restands, he'll be at 2400, and this will be a 21k column. So again, I was focused on restands, and I was focused on power creeping my units. So with Polaris being at 19k, and if I possibly did hit a restand, I would be swinging pretty hard. So Reverse Leo's power to restand your units on the side is really strong with Great Nature's skill. So draw trigger, nice. Draw trigger draws that. And we hit a stand trigger at the right time. This is the right time to be hitting stand trigger. So now Reverse Leo hit the 24 number. And guess what? Now my guy restands, and he is at 30,000 column right there. That is a power creeping column. No defense trigger can surpass that, but he died. He didn't have a PG. Actually, not having PGs is always interesting. And if he healed, that's 30,000 still to the face. He would have to have had a heal sack. So that's a little positive with the Reverse Leo build. There is a lot to it with the ChatNoir, the restands. But as you can tell, you can see why Reverse Leo is so good. He doesn't really need the break, right? He just needs a good units that can come back and power creep. But again, that's the whole point of the Zebra. Like I said, if the Zebra comes back, you have a chance to replace that G3 with a possible G2 setup. So you can see in the deck, there's the Zebras, and like I said, we went over everything in this deck. Don't worry about the rest of this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Turbo Leo, as I'll be commentating that as well. So I'm glad you guys kind of got my input on the matches, so on and so forth. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for the next one later today.